Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this full day of food. My name is Julie. I'm a mom of 5, and today I'm going to take you along and show you what all of our meals are. So far all I've had this morning is just a glass of water, and I'm about to start making breakfast. I pulled a loaf of sourdough bread, homemade sourdough bread, out of the freezer last night. It's sitting on my counter. I'm always trying to think ahead, like the day before. Okay, what do I need to get out? So yesterday after supper, I got out a loaf of bread for breakfast this morning. I got out a pack of bagels that we're gonna have for lunch today. Spoiler alert, I'm telling you what's happening later on today. And I also got a package of ground beef, and I stuck that in my fridge last night. So just kind of prepping, okay, what are we having tomorrow? Getting all that food just defrosted and ready to make today a little bit simpler. My kids usually do a lot of the breakfast prep themselves, but I don't quite trust them yet to slice their own bread. Okay, that's not true. They do it sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't go so well. And so I'm just going to slice it for them. I'm looking at this loaf, realizing, oh, this was a white loaf. Sometimes I will do partial whole wheat flour in my sourdough bread, but this is just a white loaf. I am yummy toast. Yummy toast. Wesley, would you get the toaster down for Mommy? Do you think you can reach it? No. Maybe not? No. Okay.
I can reach that, but I can't.
Okay. Okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the kids, and then 2 for myself.
I'll be dead.
Wesley.
Yeah.
If you regularly follow along with my full day of food videos, I usually have a smoothie for breakfast, but once or twice a week I'll have something with the kids. So today I am gonna have toast. I still try to follow a bit of a smaller eating window, so I don't usually have breakfast till 9, and then most days I'm done eating by 6 p.m. And so I am gonna have toast, but I think I'll wait to have mine a little bit later. I'm just gonna get Wesley now. Wesley's here waiting because he was the one that was telling me this morning, I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry. So Wesley, why don't you go ahead and set knives to the table, and I'll get peanut butter and jam out. Wesley's the only one. It is lemon.
Oh.
Yeah, it's lemon. I think there's another flavor here. Oh, it's lemon or pineapple, you can choose. And bananas, and we have lots of choices here for toppings, for spreads. So we've got jam, peanut butter, and honey. And then recently Andrew made a big old batch of apple butter. So we have a whole bunch of these canned in our pantry, and so we really enjoy this apple butter as well. Wesley, yeah, if you want a lemon one, then just take this one that's already sitting on top. Why don't you go grab yourself a spoon while I get some stuff on your toast. Okay, sir, what did you say you want on your toast?
Peanut butter and jam.
Peanut butter and jam? Yes, please.
Yes,
and how is your yogurt so far?
good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
That's good. Did you say you want just peanut butter and jam like this? Or do you want it like a sandwich? How do you want it?
Sandwich.
You'd like it like a sandwich. Okay, I think we can do that. This is my favorite way to eat toast. Peanut butter, honey, and sliced banana on top. Does anybody else eat it like that? It is such a yummy, yummy combination. That sound you hear in the background is just my coffee. But first, I'm gonna eat my breakfast. Okay, that breakfast was delicious. I forget how good that is. Just toast with peanut butter and honey, and I just am so used to having my smoothie in the mornings that I don't have that very often, but it was good. And now I just poured myself a coffee, just some drip coffee from my coffee maker there with cream. For lunch today, I got out some of these sesame seed bagels. We're gonna do ham and cheese, mayonnaise. I'm still working on my morning coffee, and then I will slice up a cucumber too. Funny Wesley Calvin. My little sidekick for this video today. Funny little story I'll share about this container. So Andrew and I, on our honeymoon, we were in the States, and we were, you know, trying to save money, not spend a lot of money going out to eat and stuff. And so we bought some sandwich meat. We went to the store, bought like bread and sandwich meat. And these are the containers our sandwich meat came in, and we were like, wow, those are good sturdy containers. And here we are 14 years since then, and we are still using this container. This is like it's always our cheese container. It does have a little crack in it, so I think it's almost done for, but anyway, yeah, 14 years. So I am just going to make up these sandwiches. I also boiled some eggs this morning. I know that I'm gonna want some eggs with my lunch. I don't know, do any of you guys want boiled eggs with your lunch?
No.
Maybe like a half of one? Okay, so maybe a couple of the kids will have a half egg. Wesley, what did you just bring over?
Yeah.
What did you bring? What is it? Pardon?
A pot of eggs.
A pot of eggs. All of a sudden I looked over on the stove and there was a pot of little toy eggs. I love it, Wes. Just don't turn the element on or your pot will get wrecked. Okay, don't turn it on. There's lunch for the kids. I'm just gonna set it to the table on this cutting board, just like that, nice and easy. I had carbs with my breakfast today, and so I'm gonna do a low carb lunch. So I'm making something I haven't made in quite a while. It's kind of similar to what the kids are having with a little bit of a twist. So I'm just about to stick this in the oven. I just have a green pepper I sliced in half. I put, there's no carbs, but there's quite a bit of fat because I've got cheese under it, and then some ham, and then some more cheese. So that's gonna go in the oven for a few minutes, and then I'll also have probably two boiled eggs with that too. And there's my lunch. Sometimes I will cook the green peppers even longer and make them even softer, but I was just so hungry today. And as soon as I saw the cheese was melted, I was like, all right, it's coming out. I am ready to eat. I have to tell you, I could not even finish that lunch. The peppers were delicious. I ate some of the boiled eggs and I was just so full. I could not finish. And so I'm just about to make myself a tea this afternoon. And so I got this little sample came in the mail, and it is a Tetley peppermint spearmint tea. It's a 2-pack, so I already had the one earlier this week, and it was so good. I love peppermint tea. I will always choose mint tea over any other kind of teas, but if I'm talking about like mint flavor, I would always choose spearmint over peppermint. And so the addition of spearmint in this tea, I've just never seen spearmint tea before. It is so good. I think it's one of those samples that won me over, and I will definitely be looking for this in store now. I opened up my little packet here and was surprised to see I have a coupon too. So I guess this is a new thing, this live tea, live bold, live cool, and live calm. So now I have a $1 off coupon. I mean, I don't usually go in store, I always order online, but I'll have to make a point to go in store and look for that new tea. And that's how I drink it. I don't add anything, I just drink it black. For snack today, we're just gonna have some of this pineapple. I just chopped this up yesterday, but apparently there's a couple pieces that are going off. Okay, I'll trim off a couple of those pieces, but that is going to be our snack for today. I think that's all we're gonna have for snack today because I am just about to start making dinner. So for dinner tonight, I'm going to make rice and some ground beef and baked beans. What is the recipe called? Southern baked beans. So it's ground beef, baked beans, onions, peppers, ketchup, and mustard. I think that's about it. I will, Worcestershire sauce is in there too. I will link the recipe to this sauce down below in the description box. I've been going back and forth in my head this afternoon, like, what should I do in the Instant Pot? I only have one Instant Pot, and usually I make these baked beans in the Instant Pot. I'll just like slow cook them. But I've been starting to cook rice in the Instant Pot too, and that is really good. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'll do rice in the Instant Pot, and I'll just do the baked beans and beef on the stovetop. Now, I was just going online to find my recipe for the baked beans, and I was scrolling through and realized that it's not actually a slow cooker recipe, and I knew that. I just often will do recipes in the slow cooker even if the recipe doesn't call for it. But I didn't realize that you're supposed to do it on the stovetop and then put it in the oven for 45 minutes. So I feel like the way it turns out when I make it probably isn't even quite how it's supposed to turn out with going in the oven for so long. Anyway, I'm just gonna cook it up on the stovetop, do the rice in the Instant Pot. So just kind of keep those changes in mind as you read the recipe. You can follow the recipe to a T if you want. Oh, one more thing. I keep talking. I'll show you me making this recipe in a second. The recipe does call for brown sugar as well, quite a bit of brown sugar, but I don't add that. I leave that out because I know there's so much sugar in the ketchup that I don't add that extra sugar. Okay, we're actually gonna have one more little snack here. So these are some Rice Krispie squares that I made for a little birthday celebration the other day. Do you guys hear that? It's silence. That is what I am noticing right now, is how silent my house is, and it is such a welcome change. It's just been a loud day, just, you know, lots of playtime, lots of kid noises, and I was just like, all right, I'm turning a timer on. I turned the timer on for 10 minutes, and I said, everybody, I want you to listen, and when this timer goes, when you hear it beep, it's time for everybody to go outside. And so right now, they're all outside playing, having fun just before it gets dark outside, and it's silent in my house, and I just feel like that is so needed. I don't realize how loud my house is until they all go outside. Now at some point during this clip, they're probably gonna come in and it'll be loud again, but for right now, speaking of, what is it? But I am just chopping up my onions and peppers. That is my first step. I also have a pot here on the stove. That is coffee. I am getting some coffee nice and hot because I'm about to pour myself a coffee nog. And so the eggnog, of course, really cools my coffee down. And if it's too cool, I just drink it way too fast. So I warm my coffee so it's piping hot. I've got my biggest cast iron pan here. I'm going to put my onions and peppers on it. Why is my pan already wet? Well, that's because I pulled it out of underneath the oven here, and there was a spider on my pan. So I got it all washed and cleaned, and now I'm gonna fry up my onions and my peppers along with this ground beef. I just poured some eggnog into my Yeti here. I always pour a little bit more than I need so I can have a drink of it plain before I add my coffee. I usually do this two-handed, not actually like in my sink, but I like to pour my coffee over my sink when it's out of a pot because it just tends to spill more. But there is my drink. I call this a coffee nog. If you guys haven't tried it, you're really missing out. While the beef is cooking, I'm just gonna get started on my rice. So what I do is I just do equal parts. Okay, recipes call for equal parts water and rice. So I think I'm gonna do 1.5 cups tonight. So 1.5 cups of rice. I kind of just approximate there. For my water, I'm gonna add a bit extra. I just prefer, if anything, a little bit extra water. So if I'm doing 1.5 cups of rice, I don't know, probably just like 1.75 cups of water. I add just a sprinkle of salt. Give that all a stir. I get my lid on, make sure it's set to sealing, and then I put it onto pressure cook just for, gotta go way down here, pressure cook for 4 minutes. It of course takes a good 15 minutes probably to warm up, to build up that pressure, and then cooks for 4. My beef and onions and peppers are cooked, and so I'm gonna add 3 cans of baked beans. I'm not following the recipe exactly. I think the recipe says to use 2 cans of baked beans, but there's also, I think it says 1 pound of beef, and this is definitely closer to 2 pounds of ground beef. So we'll see how 3 cans looks. If not, I'm pretty sure I have some more still in the pantry. I think it will be fine. Even if it's more beefy than the recipe calls for, I am just fine with that. I'm gonna add a little bit of, I'm gonna butcher the name again, Worcestershire sauce. We had this whole comment in another video on how it's pronounced, and I know I'm still not great at it. So about that much of that sauce, and then I'll add a generous amount of ketchup and probably a couple teaspoons of mustard. Now I'll just give it a stir, and I think I'll just let it simmer. We've got, let's see here, we'll probably eat in about 15 to 20 minutes. I'll let it simmer for that whole time, giving it a stir every once in a while. I meant to let the pressure out of that at 10 minutes, but I kind of missed it. Okay, so now I'm just gonna let the pressure out. My baked beans are still here, simmering. I don't want it to simmer too at too high of a temperature because I don't want to lose much more liquid here. Okay, and the little pin is down, so the pressure is all out, and we find a spot to put that. Okay, dinner's ready. So here is our rice. We'll put this nice sauce on it, and then I also just chopped up some carrot sticks too. My house is back to its loud volume, but I just wanted to say, whenever I'm doing something like this, like rice and a sauce, rather than put it on a plate, I like to just serve it in bowls because that's just easier, and we eat it with spoons, and it's just easier for the kids to be able to scoop it up without making a big mess and food falling off their plates and such. We are all cleaned up from dinner now, ready for a new day tomorrow, and that about ends our eating, or that does end our eating. I am just gonna have tonight one of these ahas. Where's the flavor here? Pineapple and passion fruit. I have yet to try this flavor, so that will be my little bedtime snack tonight. Thank you for watching this full day of food. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more content from me. I do post day in the lives on Friday. Mondays I post other mummy, homeschool, a whole variety of content on Mondays, but every Wednesday I do post a full day of food. So if you want to see more, then hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you next time.